So I've been doing this a long time, and most text-to-video tools don't generate content that tells a story right off the bat or is ready to post without edits. The hard part is turning that one simple idea into AI-generated content that actually tells a story with characters, scenes, tension, visuals, and a reason for the viewer to keep watching. So in this video, I'm testing ZooClaw's Vibe Drama Agent to see if it can help me create a full cinematic AI short film from scratch, not just random AI clips, an actual story-driven piece with a beginning, middle, and an end. So hear me out. Here's the problem most creators run into with AI video. Tools like Runway, Kling, Luma, Pika, and other video generators can create great looking shots, but you still have to do most of the creative work yourself. You have to come up with the story, you have to write the scenes, you have to create the characters, you have to keep the style consistent, and you have to figure out which shots connect. And honestly, after all that, you usually end up with a folder full of cool looking clips that don't really feel like a film. That's where this gets interesting, because Vibe Drama is not just trying to generate a shot, it's trying to act more like an AI director. The question I want to answer in this video is simple. What if instead of prompting one clip at a time, you give an AI agent a rough story idea and it helped you build a whole world around it? The characters, the mood, the visual style, the scene breakdown, the story beats, the props, and the prompts. And then can it help me turn that into a cinematic short film? That's the exact workflow we're going to test today with the Vibe Drama Agent inside of ZooClaw. Pronounced ZooClaw, ZooClaw is a productive team of AI specialists built for creators, entrepreneurs, and operators who need bandwidth. But for this video, I'm not going to focus on the entire platform. I'm going to focus on one specific agent inside of ZooClaw called Vibe Drama. Think of Vibe Drama as your AI drama director. You give it the idea, the vibe, or the type of story you want to create, and it helps you turn it into a structured cinematic project. So today in this video, you're going to learn three things. One, how the Vibe Drama agent turns a rough cinematic idea into characters, scenes, props, and story beats. Two, how that compares to using normal AI video tools when you have to build everything manually. And three, how we can take what Vibe Drama creates and turn it into a high production AI short film using the video generation workflow. So stick through this video to the end, because once we're finished, you're going to know exactly how to pull off these cinematic AI projects that are going to help you scale and grow your brand or your business. The links to ZooClaw are going to be down in the description and the pinned comments. Right now, they're giving away free access to their starter plan, so you can test the Vibe Drama workflow yourself and start building cinematic AI content without needing a full production team. For those new here, I'm the avatar of John Kelly, one of the minds behind Digital Creator AI. We built this channel from scratch and just hit 100K plus. What we're all about is helping creators, solopreneurs, and anyone building an online brand master the best AI tools, workflows, and strategies. If that sounds like you, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Before we dive in, if you're posting content on Instagram for your brand or your business, you need this tool. I designed a solution to automate my Instagram comments and DMs so I don't have to pay for expensive tools like ManyChat anymore. Just know that for a limited time, I'm letting people get access to this completely for free. The links are down in the description and the pinned comments. Try it out and let me know what you think. This is the UI that you're going to see when you first log into ZooClaw. The first agent that you're going to come into contact with is this general assistant agent. What we want to do is find the AI specialist hub, which is located over here on the left of the menu. You'll see this option that says AI specialist hub. But before we click on that, let's look at these two options here. Now, the user guide I feel is going to be very helpful for a lot of you, and it's also going to help me explain the value of ZooClaw. This is going to be great for beginners that don't know how to use agents. It's going to break down here what you have to do to really get the most out of this tool. So no API keys, no command line, no workflow setup. Sign up and talk to your specialist right away. So that's the beauty of this tool. If you don't use ZooClaw, you're going to have to build all those things on your own. But if you use ZooClaw, you won't have to worry about any of that. Here it's got a simple breakdown. So step 1, you sign up. Step 2, you pick your team. And step 3, you can just talk to your team. Here it's got a breakdown of some of the specialists, which we'll look at in a second when we go over to the AI Specialist Hub. But here you can see they have options like ZooClaw Studio, which packages your workflows into a custom AI specialist that operates by your rules. These are only a couple of the specialists that they have. Here it says the Soulmate, the Aura Ring, the Stylist, the Produce Manager, and the Review Monitor. These are just 6. There are way more inside of the tool, and we'll look at them in a second. It gives you a breakdown of what the specialist can actually do for you. And if we scroll down here, you're going to see that there is this option that says the playbook and the use case gallery. These are both great to check out. So let's read the full method. These are the guided principles plus copy ready prompts that you can use right inside of ZooClaw. So let's come down here to the principles. Here it says not better prompt tricks, a fundamentally different way of working. Read these first. So let's dive into the principles real quick. 1 says lay it out in full. No prompt engineering. Patiently lay out the context and what you want the way you would with a trusted colleague. The fuller the picture, the closer the reply. Perfect. Next is pick the right specialist. Each specialist comes with domain knowledge and workflows. The right one saves you time and credits. If unsure, just ask which to use. So that was the general assistant. We can always ask the general assistant which specialist we should use. So 3 is say it once and remember it forever. Identify preferences, constraints, tone, mention once, and they're baked into every future reply. So a lot of these principles are things you would need to know how to do if you built your own custom agents. So 4 is turn habits into skills. So turn repeated tasks like weekly reports, client replies into a skill with 1 sentence. Reuse or share with the team via a trigger word. 5 is it doesn't suggest, it acts. So once you connect your email, your calendar, your Notion, or your Lark, your specialist reads, writes, syncs, and schedules directly, no app switching. 6, it says it keeps working while you're offline. So scheduled pushes, conditional triggers, long-running watches, it runs in the background and only pings you when it's time for the condition to hit. 7 here is 1 context, every channel. ZooClaw app is your home base, paired with web, voice, Lark, Slack, Telegram, Discord, same memory, same task. And if you scroll down, you'll see that there are prompts that are going to help you guys that you can literally copy and paste from here. So here it says find the right specialist, and then you have a template to help you prompt the agent to help you find that specialist. So you have prompts to introduce yourself, to set a reply style, to save a chat skill, and to set a reminder, to set a routine, to watch and notify on conditions. And then there's auto app actions. So here it says handle emails. Most AI can only suggest replies, but your specialist can directly read, organize, and draft emails. Authorize your email in settings, connections first. So basically, if you want, you can connect your specialist to your email and it's going to be able to manage that for you. Here you have another example of a template to run apps. It says meeting notes to Notion, to-dos to calendar. 1 sentence handles it. Each app you connect in settings gives your specialist 1 more path to automate. So make sure to check this out because you're going to find a lot of prompts that you can start using right away. And don't forget that there's also a use case gallery. If we click this here inside of the use case gallery, you're going to get specific examples of what this tool can do. At the top, you're going to see there are filters for different types of use cases. Here, if I click on create, it's going to show me a bunch of different use cases that we could use for creating content. For example, content idea generator, scroll stopping hooks. Let me scroll down here. It says brand name generator, 30-day content calendar, transcript to blog post, creative direction generator, ad copywriter, creative brief builder, a video style replicator. So I highly suggest also coming over here as well and finding the use cases that you want to experiment with. But today I'm going to make it really simple for you guys. We're going to focus on 1 use case and 1 AI specialist. Let's come back over here to the left on the menu. Look at the schedule real quick. As we just read, ZooClaw can actually handle tasks when you're away. So here you're going to be able to manage that. So now that we've seen almost everything, let's come over to the AI Specialist Hub. Here in the AI Specialist Hub is where you're going to see all the actual AI specialists that they have. So if we come up to the top, you'll see that here there are some filters that you can use. So you can click on productivity, you can click on lifestyle, and you can scroll through here and hire these different assistants just by clicking on this hire button here. If you click on them, it'll give you a breakdown of their capabilities and also their use case here in their description. So now let's come over to the Vibe Drama Agent. Let's click here. Here inside of the Vibe Drama Agent, you see the breakdown. It says Vibe Drama is your end-to-end AI short drama production assistant. From a single sentence, it guides you through the genre selection, episode scripting, character board generating, scene and prop creation, concurrent AI video generations via C-Dance, BMG mixing, and final episode delivery. It says it covers 26 subgenres across 5 global regions. So you could do multiple languages and 16 visual art styles. Perfect for short drama enthusiasts, indie content creators, and AIGC filmmakers. So this is exactly the tool that we're looking for. Below that, you're going to see the capabilities. So it has the skills here. It says genre discovery, episode scripting, character board generation, scene and prop art, AI video generation, background mixing, multi-region drama templates, and you can see its integrations down here. We can see C-Dance 2.0 video generation is what it's going to use to generate our content with. So let's come over here to the right and click on this chat option and let's get started. So here we are inside of my Vibe Drama Specialist. To the left, you're going to be able to see that now in the menu, you'll have the Vibe Drama Specialist there. If you want to add another specialist, you can always click on this Add a Specialist option. But right now, let's focus on Vibe Drama. Honestly, the outputs you get from this are amazing, especially because it does all the editing for you and it really understands the goal and the task. So I came up with a concept for a character, I gave it the idea, and it generated a full animation for me after a couple prompts. The cool thing is when it gave me scenes or things that I didn't like, I could literally just chat with it with simple text prompts to get the visual to come out more like I wanted. Let me give you guys an example of the quality. Remember that there are different templates, and I just wanted to experiment with the animation template, but the output is still amazing because it's using Cdance 2.0.
I've seen plenty of twos disappear, but never one I was supposed to meet.
A cartoon witness. That's a new low, even for Toontown. Someone got erased tonight. You gonna write that down or keep practicing your comedy routine? Get it out of here.
One of them wasn't laughing. In this city, that's practically a love letter. Your card was in the dead man's pocket. Don't make me regret this.
The quality is top notch. And if I were to do that by hand, like if I were to actually animate all those scenes, pick the music, do the editing, that would take forever, honestly. I'm literally a creative and an artist, and I've done animations by hand. First of all, I don't think I could get a quality of animation like this without a team back in the day before AI. So everybody seems to be forgetting the fact that before tools like this, you wouldn't be able to even pull this off. Like you would have to learn how to animate to do this. And that's just one part of this whole process. And you definitely cannot do it in the speed that we're gonna do it today. So let's start building out a new idea. I'm gonna tell the Vibe Drama agent, let's start a new idea and let's see what it gives us. And what I want is a new character and maybe a new aesthetic so we don't just try the animation aesthetic again. Let's see what else it can do. All right, so now it's pulling up the genre menu it says here so we can find the perfect fit. And it says, got it, fresh slate, let's find your vibe. Here are 5 genre directions you can run with. Pick one, mix 2, or just say that direction, but more X, and I'll build it from there. So it gives us 5 options. The first one is CEO Romance. The second one is Face Slap Revenge. The third is Rebirth Revenge. The fourth is Bitter Romance. And 5 is Ancient Court Intrigue. Below each of them, you have a short explanation giving you a breakdown of what the genre is about. And each of these is packed with drama. Like for example, if we look at this Face Slap Revenge, it says she gets humiliated in episode 1, hidden identity drops in episode 2, episode 4, everyone who underestimates her is on their knees. So it's not only building out like an episode or some clips, it's building out almost a whole series for you. Let's see if there's any more of these. I'm gonna ask it, do we have more genre options? And don't be too worried about how you prompt these things. You can see that I didn't include like a question mark. It's gonna understand that I'm asking it a question. And here we go, it's giving me more of them. Then it gave me an extra one here that is modern independent women, high achieving women, hit from all sides, career, love, family, expectations. She almost breaks, then she reclaims everything on her own terms. So let me actually get fully creative with this, and I'm gonna say let's work on a character. This is a comedy drama about a capybara character that is unemployed, and I'm gonna give it an idea of the direction I want to go in. Unemployed, messy, and always wearing sunglasses and I'm gonna try to mold it after like characters that I've imagined in the past. I want him to be like sloppy, so he's gonna have on a bathrobe and a plain shirt, Hawaiian print shorts. The reason he's unemployed is because he is a millionaire, but he doesn't look like it. The capybara is messy and wearing a bathrobe and a plain shirt, Hawaiian print shorts, and flip-flops, laid back energy. Let's see what it gives me with this prompt. So first I'm gonna build the character, and then we know we have those genres we can either pick from, or I can come up with my own genre. The vibe drama agent is telling me that the character is gold. A broke-looking millionaire capybara with flip-flop energy. The comedy practically writes itself. So it's already telling me I have a good idea. Let me lock down his look before we go further. Here's what I've got from your description. It breaks down the whole character description here. It's got the traits, so you got the species, the vibe, the signature item, the outfit, the status, the energy, the secret, and the details. So we got the capybara and all the different details for the character. So here it's giving me a few quick things to lock in before they build the character board for us. So does he have a name yet? Or it can pitch me some funny options. It says, what's the comedy tone? Pick one that feels right. This is where vibe drama really shines. It adds in drama to your clips, right? So it makes the clips engaging. It also really dials in on these types of things here. So the comedy tone, that's what other tools are missing and what makes this tool stand out. So the first option is deadpan dry humor. He says absurd things with a completely straight face. Nobody understands if he's joking. Wholesome chaos, well-meaning but creates disaster just existing. Stumbles into wealth flex moments accidentally. And then oblivious rich guy, genuinely doesn't realize how out of touch he is, thinks everyone lives like him. Reluctant protagonist, keeps trying to mind his own business, the world won't let him. So here it's giving us supporting characters as well. So it says any supporting characters in mind: a nosy neighbor, a business partner who handles everything, a friend who suspects but can't prove it. Once you give me these, I'll nail down the full character profile and we can go straight to building his look. So let's pick these. So the first one, I think I'm gonna do a mix, right? I actually like all those types of humor. So let me just tell it to, for 2, mix all 4. For 3, I'm gonna say based off the drama in our script, create any needed characters for the story. And for 1, does he have a name yet? I will say, give me some options. All right, so there I've given it my prompt. All right, so it says, love it. All 4 tones mixed, the most chaotic, lovable character possible. Let me pitch some names for you. So the first name is Cabo. The second name is Gerald. Then we have Breezy, Monty, Remy, Slick. All right, so from these names, I think I like the name Gerald because it sounds really human and that might be kind of funny. So now before I build the full cast, it says, I need to write the story around him so the supporting characters actually serve the drama. Here's a quick synopsis pitch for a comedy drama. Just vibing. Cabo, our capybara or Gerald, lives in an average apartment complex dressed like he lost a bet, doing absolutely nothing all day. His neighbors think he's a freeloader. His building super keeps trying to evict him. A nosy neighbor is convinced he's hiding something. A slick real estate developer wants to buy the building, not knowing Gerald already owns it. I think this is perfect for the first test, just to see what we get. And honestly, I wouldn't have come up with this idea on my own, right? Is this the direction you want, or throw me your own premise? 1 sentence is enough and I'll build the full arc. Once you pick a name, confirm or redirect the story idea, I'll write the full synopsis, full cast, and we can lock in phase 1. For the name, let's pick Gerald, and the synopsis is perfect. So here it's building out the world for us, right? So just vibing, the full synopsis, it's got the setting, it's got episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, episode 4. Let's check this out. So the first episode, it says Gerald shuffles to the mailbox in his bathrobe and flip-flops at 2 p.m. His neighbor Diane is convinced he's a bum and reports him to the building super Carl, who gleefully shows up with an eviction notice. Gerald reads it, adjusts his sunglasses, and says okay, and goes back inside. Carl waits for a reaction that never comes. End hook. A black luxury car pulls up, a suited assistant rushes out, hands Gerald a thick envelope, and drives away. Gerald uses it as a coaster. So as you can see, it's building out the story, and each of these episodes will continue to tell that story. Let's come down here to the characters, and you can see it's given them each a name, and it seems like it's given them a species. We'll see when we generate, but here I can see there's a rabbit here, there's a bear here, there's a fox and a bird. So let's come down here. It says, does this synopsis and cast work for you? I'm gonna say looks perfect. Continue. All right, so now it says, here's where it gets interesting. Gerald is an animated capybara in a comedy that changes everything. My recommendation. So it's giving me a recommendation here on an art style, and it's saying stylized 3D animation. It gives me the reason why. So it says exaggerated proportions, vivid colors, Pixar DreamWorks feel, perfect for anthropomorphic capybara comedy. Gerald's bathrobe, sunglasses, and flip-flops will pop in this style. The oblivious rich guy comedy lands harder when the world looks slightly cartoonish. And then it gives me a runner-up option. So it says Japanese anime style. If you want a slightly more 2D flat feel with big expressive eyes, we can do that. So it's got the story locked in. It's got the lead locked in, which is Gerald. It's got the cast, the genre, and the art style. And it says, Do you want to go with S0103B stylized 3D or swap to anime style? One word works, just say 3D or anime, and we're off to the script. So let's do 3D for now. Now, while the tool is working, if you want to see exactly what it's using, if we click here where it says one tool used, you can see exactly what it's doing. So it says red, going through the content, building a mental map of the structure. Now it's giving us episode 1, fully scripted beat by beat. So it says episode 1, the freeloader. It's got the core dramatic purpose, the hook at the end, the scene, the visuals, the dialogues, the cameras, right? So camera here, it says wide establishing shot, slow zoom. All these points here are things you would need to come up with if you wanted to prompt a tool like Higgsfield or any of the tools I listed earlier to generate visuals and tell a story. You literally would need to do all this on your own. So any standalone text to video tool really can't compare to this. It's got everything we need here, the assets in episode 1 as well. It's telling me here at the bottom if I want to review and tweak any of the beats or if we're good to roll straight into building the assets. I'm going to say all good. Please start on assets. All right, so here it's saying let's build this world first. The Vibe Drama agent is basically going to generate these from scratch for us. It's breaking everything down here. So it's got the appearance confirmation and it shows us that yes, the characters are going to be different species. Here we can see it's got the capybara as the lead, Diane as the rabbit, Carl as the bear, Victor as the fox, and Priya as the bird. And you can actually change their costumes or anything you need to just by telling it to do so now. That's why it's listing it all out for you. So you can, follow up with a prompt if you need to make any changes. It's saying, do these descriptions look right? It's asking for any tweaks before it fires up all 5 character boards at once. I'm going to say, please fire up all character boards at once. So now it's created our character here, Gerald. If we open this up, you can see there is this character sheet that has different views and perspectives of the character so that the model understands how to grab him from every angle. This is important to do when you want to have reference characters. This is how you lock in your characters and keep them consistent. This is the nosy neighbor, and let's come here and check out the super of the building, Carl. I like the detail on the shirt. I like that he has all the things that like a super would wear, like somebody that takes care of your building would wear. And you can see the clipboard and different items related to the characters as well. Here's Priya, which is the bird character. Look at the attention to detail when building the characters, these items that it adds to each character to really solidify the story, right? So the character not only has the blazer on, and it also has all the other elements that it would need to really drive the characters home. And here is Victor Sloan, which is the fox character. Let's open this up and we can see basically everything is here. So we've got the briefcase, the outfit. So let's scroll down. It says here, all 5 character boards are complete. Happy with all of them or any characters you want to tweak before we move on to the scene anchors? I'm going to say no, please move on to the scene anchors. Now it's building the scene anchors, and the scene list is also something that is very important that people don't think about. You do also need to create your backgrounds if you want to use them as a reference to keep everything cohesive and flowing together. This is something you would do if you were using an image to video tool that allowed you to reference more than one image. You'd reference your character, the elements the character is using, the scenes that the character is going to be placed in. Seeing this step by step is also going to take a lot of you through the process of what is actually behind those viral videos you're seeing on Instagram generated with AI. Here it's giving us an example of the scene that is generated. So here's scene 1, the hallway and the mailbox area. This visual is perfect for the story that we're telling. If you ever want to download any of these visuals to keep as reference, up here at the top right, you have the download option. And you can also download any of the videos we generate through this process as well. So you can use this as short clips or extra content to post on socials. I really like this shot. I like that they put this out of order use stairs detail here. The attention to detail is wild. There's signs here for the noise complaint. Look, noise complaints. This is perfect. Here's the building from the outside, and it's actually given us a name for the building, Sunnyvale Arms, in all of its faded awning glory. And it says this is where the luxury car will pull up. And here is Gerald's apartment. This is perfect. I mean, look at this shot. There's snacks all over the table. There's movie posters on the wall. Even this poster here that says hang in there. This pillow that says pizza is life. This is the perfect setting for my character. Vibe Drama is doing an amazing job. So all 4 scenes are locked down and complete. It says happy with the scenes, or do you want to make any regenerations? Once you confirm, we can move straight to prop anchors, and it's telling us what the prop anchors are here. So the eviction notice, the luxury envelope, the juice box, and Gerald's sunglasses. Please generate the prop anchors. So it's generated our prop. The eviction notice looks great. The luxury sealed envelope also looks great, and the juice box that Gerald's gonna be drinking, which is perfect. I love that it's tropical fruit punch. Here are the sunglasses that it picked for Gerald. It says tortoise shell frames, deep amber tint. You cannot see his eyes. You never will. Secretly designer, obviously Gerald. I love the detail that it's putting into this. So all the props are complete. Think about this for a second. This breakdown and the attention to detail that Vibe Drama is doing here is more than most people would even do. So like if you paid somebody to do this, they may not come up with these ideas and put in this much work, right? It's packaging everything for you. It says that all the props are complete, and it's telling me that's every single asset locked in. 5 characters, 4 scenes, 4 props, the whole world just vibing is built. Any tweaks, or shall we move on to phase 6, which is video generation? It says, before we start, I need to know if it's gonna be aspect ratio 16:9 landscape, so for YouTube, or 9:16 portrait for Instagram Reels. The resolution, 480p, 720p, 1080p, fast or pro. Let's start with the YouTube aspect ratio. So let's do 16:9. The resolution, I'm gonna pick 1080 and I'm gonna just go with pro. You can always go with fast or 720 just to see how it comes out the first time. But I'm gonna go with pro because I've already been testing the tool and I know that Vibe Drama has got this under control for me. So let's just do enter. And now we're gonna have to give the tool a minute to generate the video. It's gonna give you a finished project at the end. So even if it takes 8 minutes, you can get up, go have a coffee, go do something, or literally have it running in the background. And by the time you sit back down, you should have a perfectly finished video. So I'm gonna type in confirmed and we'll see what we get. So our video is finished. I'm gonna download it real quick by coming over here to the 3 dots, clicking on this and clicking on download, and let's check it out.
He has not had a job in 3 months.
You have 30 days to vacate, Mr. Gerald.
Okay.
That is all you have to say?
You want me to say something else?
Sir, week summary.
Carl, who is he?
As you can see, my friends, that is not AI slop. That is a scene-by-scene story with elements, characters, and it looks like a whole team built that. But in reality, it was a one-person team using ZooClaw. And if I wanted to, I could continue directly with episode 2 right inside of the same chat. It'll continue to use the same characters and story that we've already built. Now, one of the powerful hacks that ZooClaw has is that you can build a custom IM channel. So what does that mean? That means you can connect this to Telegram and you can work with the Vibe Drama agent while you're out shopping, enjoying a day at the beach. So you can talk to Vibe Drama right through Telegram and get the videos done while you're on the go. So now to set up your Telegram, it's actually super easy. We're gonna come over here to the left to the menu and click on your profile here at the bottom. And we're gonna come up to the settings option. Here, you're gonna see the billing, the usage, the connectors as well, which is important to check out, because you can connect this to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Twitch, your Google Workspace, also these productivity tools like Notion, Asana. You've also got GitHub, Linear, Jira, and Confluence. And then over to the left, you have status, and the one we want to go to is IM channels. And here we're gonna add a new channel. So click add a new channel. Here we can see that it says Telegram here at the top for the platform. If you click on that, you'll see that there are other options that you can pick from. They even have Discord and Slack. And then they have a guided bot setup. Now we're in the guided bot setup. I'm gonna click here on get started. Here it's got the steps to create your bot father in Telegram, which is what you're gonna need to connect the specialist to Telegram. So I've already got that. I'm gonna go to next. And here it's telling me to enter the bot token. I'm gonna do that. Now I'm connecting it and there we go. So the Telegram is connected. Once you have that set up, make sure to check here that you have the right agent connected. So I've got Vibe Drama selected and I'm gonna save my changes. Now we're inside of Telegram and here you can see the Vibe Drama test account that I have set up. And here we can see that the ZooClaw Vibe Drama agent is actually responding to me right inside of Telegram. I hope you guys found that video helpful. The links to ZooClaw are going to be down in the description and the pinned comments. Make sure to get that free access and go try out the Vibe Drama agent today. Don't forget that for a limited time, I'm also giving away access to my free Instagram DM and comment automation tool. You'll never miss another comment or DM on Instagram again, and I'll personally show you how I use it to get leads while I sleep. Links are also in the description. Make sure to go down there,
Try it out and let me know what you think. Now, if you want to see how to take your AI generated content even further and learn how to humanize that content, then watch the video coming up on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next AI tool workflow, and I'll catch you all in the next video.